Live. I'm Skip. This is Rob Nima. He's the district president. And we're here tonight to talk a little bit about the Sandblast Hare and Hound. It's hosted by the OTB Racing Club. This event this weekend, it's located at Superstition, and it's going to be at the dip, so nobody has to drive down Wheeler Road.
Hey,
yes.
Or leave springs on their trailer.
Yeah. Trailer doors go.
That microwave falling out.
Exactly.
TV's falling off the wall.
Exactly. Yeah. So
we haven't had a race there in years.
Yes.
So this is a really good thing.
2019 at least.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
I've never been out there racing.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll be good.
All right. The race format this weekend is going to be a hare and hound. So a hare and hound is a 50-mile A loop and then a 27-mile B loop, and that has an alternate fuel stop, and that's at mile 33 on the A loop. This hare and hound is going to be scored like the AMA scores it. So if you're an amateur and expert rider, you have to complete the B loop in order to get a score. OTB is giving you the option to, for the beginner, or at least the novices, if you want to go out and try the B loop, if you don't finish it, you're going to get a DNF. So really think long and hard about whether you want to go out and try that B loop. You're welcome to try. They have sign-ups and check-ins for the motorcycle and ATV race are from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. When you come to sign up, you're going to need to bring your helmet with you to sign up. If you have an existing Moto-Tally tag, we'll need to scan that into the scoring system. If you need to purchase a Moto-Tally tag, we have those on sale for $10. During sign-up, you will also be getting a fender card. And then when we get Shad on the line here, he'll explain a little more about the fender cards.
Shad, the president of OTB.
OTB, and I forgot to mention you at the beginning, Shad. I apologize for that. Shad Bodenstadt, he's the OTB club president.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to
remind me.
Yeah,
you didn't.
I know. I blew it. My bad.
You didn't want to talk. You just wanted to remind me. Fender cards. All right. Riders under the age of 18, you need to have a minor release, and we like to have that minor release signed by both parents, and have it done in the presence of our sign-up crew. If you are under the age of 18 and you are going to come out and race with us, you need to have a notarized minor release brought with you at the event in order for you to race. A good idea, if you are going to race a season with District 38, is to go to the AMA website, get the yearly minor release. They'll give you a card, a code, so that we know that you've signed up for a yearly release. Okay. Online signups, they are currently open, and if you go to the district website and you go to the OTB Sandblast flyer, there's a link on there that'll take you to the Moto-Tally site, and you're going to be able to log in and enter the race. The online signups close tomorrow, January 24th at 6 p.m. So get online, sign up early, get that taken care of. Don't wait till the last minute. If you show up at the event and you need to sign up at the event, I think it's $10 additional for a day of signups, and we're happy to take you. If you can't get online or if you're not sure, come on out. We'll get you signed up and we'll get you out there racing with us this weekend.
Yeah, and if you guys, if you've just signed up for the district, that does take a few days. It comes to the district, you want a number, I want to be whatever number you want to be. We have to check with the stewards, make sure that number is available. Then we mail the skill bars to you and your District 38 membership card, which you should definitely keep and bring to every race, along with your AMA card, every race. So, if you haven't gotten that back, make sure you have the paperwork or a receipt or something
Just
like
an
that.
email that Kim's acknowledged.
Yeah, and then the club will know that we've received your stuff and you've been taking care of business. So I just want to throw that out
And
there.
just a reminder for all the existing racers that raced with us last year and you intend to race with us again this year, your district racing license or membership is a yearly membership. So it's just a racing season. It's not calendar year membership or anything like that. So help the January 1st to December 31st. So help the club out. Go on the district website, get your membership taken care of before you show up at the race. It just expedites the check-in process. So register early and be prepared.
Yeah, I'd like to say something right now.
Yes, sir.
You guys, last year and in last few years, we've been a little bit tolerant of your numbers on your bikes. I'm going to call out a couple people who have like gray numbers with red piping and a gray background. We cannot read those numbers. We have done our best and accommodated for the last few years, or red on pink don't really work well. Look at the rules. It says what your number plates are supposed to be. We want you to have white number plates with black numbers. That's what we can read. If the white kind of has a ghosting of the American flag, I'm not really going to be concerned with that. But we really are putting ourselves at risk by having to get too close to see your numbers and in the dust especially. So do us a favor. I'm all down with having number plates that look cool. I always tried to do the best I could, but you got to meet us halfway and get those kind of numbers on there, because this year we're going to kind of buckle down a little bit. If we can't read your numbers, me personally, I worked a lot of checks. I'm probably just not going to score you. I'm not going to put myself out there anymore.
And that there is the reason why you need to have legible numbers on your bike. Because if we miss you in scoring, it's really hard to reconcile that. We don't have any kind of video evidence, even in 2025, of who went around what. So do your diligence. White backgrounds, black numbers, and that also goes for the UTVs. They need 8-inch tall numbers with white backgrounds. So
we kind of let them. It's not in their rules, but it has to be legible. It is their responsibility.
It is your responsibility to be legible.
I'm sure they're not listening to this because it's a motorcycle only. But yeah, it's Jason's there. Go Jason. Do me, man. But it's like, make them legible. That's the main thing.
Yeah. So there should be a couple lines for signups. One for people that have signed up online, and one people that have to sign up day of, which is usually just a separate table where they have entry forms where you can fill that out, and then you'll get in line to the online sign up people, and then move through the process. Big thing with Hare and Hounds, and we mentioned this at every one of these live things, is AMA statement of responsibility. Typically, a V loop on a Hare and Hound is extremely difficult, so make sure that you're prepared for a 33-mile loop. That includes carrying water with you. It is the desert. It gets dry. You never know if you're going to break down.
How long you're
going to be out there. So make sure that you have a CamelBak. You have adequate water. It's not a simple zip around the course kind of loop where you can do it and then get water at a pit stop or something like that. It's not how desert racing works.
It's also harder for the recovery teams to get you. Say you blew a motor. It's a lot harder for these people to get to you and get you out of there. So, just be prepared to,
right.
You can be there for a little bit.
Yeah, you will be going in some tight canyons and very tight single track areas. So be prepared. Read the responsibility and know what you're
Quads don't go on the second loop. So, it can get really, really tight. because they don't have to accommodate the quads.
We do pipe plates. So if you don't have numbers, your first time racing with us, we have pipe plates at scoring, so we'll be able to assign you numbers. They're generally going to start with a P and go 1 through 50, something along those lines. If you're
Do you
not
charge for those pipe plates? Because they're sharp looking.
Yeah.
That's
No,
You
yeah.
don't think they're good looking?
I do.
Stickers? Man, when I was young, we used pipe plates. We cut them out, duct tape. They look.
Well, I have those. I have old school stuff. But
Yeah,
Mark
nowadays-
Zila at OTB is the one that's said, hey, this would be cool, and so I got the ball and ran with it. So we should all be consistent.
They
All
look
the
good.
clubs. Pre-entry race fees $53 for district members and $63 for non-members. OTB is giving everybody basically $10 discount on this race.
That's nice.
Day of race fees, $65 for members, $75 for non-members. So there's a slight bump in what you'll have to pay penalty-wise. OTB, they take cash and they take Venmo. So be prepared with one of those two forms of payment if you're going to pay or you need to purchase a Moto Tally tag, something along those lines. Like all of our District 38 events, you must have an AMA card. You must be a member of the AMA in order to race with us. If you're not, you can get a day pass, a year membership or 3-year membership. Those memberships are available online on the AMA's website. If you just go to membership, they give you options for day pass, which I think is $25 there. Fuel mats. Gotta have fuel mats.
Who says so? The BLM says so.
BLM
They want
says
fuel
so.
mats.
We want fuel mats out there. So fuel
Yeah, okay.
mats are, a good fuel mat is like floor mat of a car. They have carpet mats, piece of carpet, anything that can keep that fuel off of the ground. To catch it if you spill.
An old towel.
Yeah. So just know we will have people walking up and down the pits, checking for pit mats, pit signs. Those are another thing that
We really
need to have.
really like.
Yeah.
And if somebody gets hurt, me and Skip go out to the desert together. Skip's hurt, they'll know where to find me, so I know what his status is and where he's located. Where if they're bringing him in, if he's hurt, they'll be able to communicate that information quicker. So, those are really great idea to have those. It can be something as simple as writing with a Sharpie on the gas can to what do they call them, sandwich boards, or something like that that's fancy. But the main thing is to have something so we know, where to look for that rider number.
Yeah.
On pit road.
On pit road. We're also going to be running live timing and scoring, and that's through the Moto Tally Results District 38. There's a link on our district website, just like for everything that we talk about, that'll allow you to check out the live timing scoring that keeps lap times, time behind leaders, what loop you're on, classes, a wealth of information. So it gives us the results pretty quickly after the race, almost instantly. There's usually some updates done within the days after, but they're pretty solid. OTB is going to be having a kids event, and it's going to be 1 hour after the finish of the race.
When's the finish? When the first checker comes out, or when the last person crosses?
I have a feeling it's probably
Something we should ask Chad. Maybe.
We're going to ask Chad here shortly.
Don't make a note. Ask Chad when the finish. What is finish?
Another note for spectators, event people, if you're riding an ATV, UTV, motorcycle, you must wear a helmet. It is the law in California. The BLM is out there and present, and that's a big thing that they look out for. If you're associated with their event, make sure you put your helmets on.
Another thing I've seen is like other people that are not involved in the race, but they race with us, are on the course during and before the race. You guys, I know you know what you're doing, but it really isn't a good idea. We need that course clear. I've seen a lot of spectator kind of riding on the course just before the start of it. So just stay off the course, try to ride it afterwards maybe or something if you really want to do it.
Right on the line, 200 feet off the course.
Well, they're actually like practicing or whatever.
Yeah, it's called pre-running.
Yeah, well, like a UTV could be out there. It's not pre-running, but stay off the course. Spectators, please stay off the course.
Okay, this is the part where we get Chad on here to tell us about their event. Chad, are you there?
I'm there. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. We can.
All right.
Chad, first of all, we want you to define what the finish is, so we know when the kids' race start.
Well, so the finish is after Loop 2 finish, and it'll be when sweep comes in from the finish of Loop 2. So when the checkered starts coming out for Loop 2, for the kids, as parents, you should start paying attention to see when sweep comes in on that, or come up to signups and start asking the question on, has the race finished yet? Because it could be kind of drawn out, and because our plan for the kids course is to use some of the adult course so that it's kind of fun. We want to make sure that the course is cleared before we start putting kids out there. That's the plan, and it could be as late as 2:00, let's say, because the Loop B is a slower loop. I'll get into some of that in a minute here.
Sure.
What were you gonna say, Rob?
No, go ahead. I was wondering. So it incorporates part of the B loop.
Yes, there's some overlap. The B loop overlaps some of the A loop, and then some of the finish is on the same part of the course. And then the kids event, we were going to use the already marked course, just a smaller section. It's only maybe a 2-mile loop, but it goes out on some of the same course markings, I guess you could say. So
yeah, okay, sounds good. Sounds great. I hope you get a great turnout for that.
Yeah, I hope so too. So back to I'll just go down through my list here, and then we'll see if there's any questions you have or our listeners. So back to at the start, it is the A loop is a 50-mile loop, and if you do an alternate pit, bring your fuel cans to the signups by 8:00. Because after 8, we're gonna run down the fuel to the alternate and have it staged for you. If you do need fuel and you do provide fuel, you have to fuel yourself. We'll have the fuel pads out there with your cans on it, but you have to fuel yourself. So just keep that in mind when you pull up, just in case.
Chad, one question. Can they have somebody at the alternate pit to help them fuel if they want?
They could. They could. They might want to come to it. If we went back and forth on whether to, just have them come in and talk to us at signups if they want to have somebody go to the alternate fuel location.
Is there anybody in particular that they should talk to that would have the best information?
You can look for me. I'll share information. Don't talk to the signups. Talk to me. Like I'll be hanging out because we don't want to interfere with the scanning of the helmets and things. If you need to,
sure.
Yeah, if you need to.
How do you want them to mark their gas tanks? Yeah. Do you have any suggestions for this competitor?
Like a pit row, you need to put your number on it, and your name would be ideal.
Okay.
Perfect.
Just with a permanent marker. I mean, it's your can, so you got to know and
a lot of the cans look alike, though.
Yeah.
Somebody has race gas, somebody has, different gas, and we want to make sure they get the right can.
Right. Exactly. Well, if they're dumping themselves, I hope they know their own can. And I'm
Yeah.
being we're desert racers, we don't expect too many people to need at the alternate pit, but it's been a while since I did one of these, and I've done it myself. I've needed an alternate pit, so it's always nice to have.
Yeah, we'll have them. You'll be the go-to guy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I agree
Well,
with you. Double
the
cover,
best thing. Yeah. So the fender cards. So everybody's running fender cards, and each checkpoint will put a mark on everybody's fender card. So that's the quick and easy way of making sure you pass the checkpoint, and instead of relying on somebody writing down your number and name. You have to stop. So every rider, Loop A and Loop B, have to stop at the checkpoints to get marked. Make sure you do it. It's not a roll through check, stop and go checkpoint.
Full stop.
So the riders meeting, we're going to go over a lot of this stuff again at the riders meeting. This is not at the start line. This will be at signups at 8:00. So make sure you're there at signups to get to get more course information, and because we're not doing it at the starting line.
And the race start time is
9:30.
9:30. Okay.
Yep.
What time does your sign up stop?
8:00.
They stop. What was that? 9. But you got to make sure of the to get to run the bomb run too. So you got to make sure you have time, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking, if you're doing the riders meeting, just make sure if people are in line or something, or things are not moving.
Well,
sorry.
they're
So signups end at 8:00.
Okay.
6 to 8 is
And
their sign up.
bomb runs 8:30 to 9:00.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
How many checkpoints do you guys have on each loop?
20. Tell them. It doesn't matter.
Say again.
TMI. Keep it.
Oh, that's another one of those top secret things.
Okay. They don't need to know. It's like, I hit them all. I'm gonna cut. No. That's the beauty of a hare and ham. You don't know, and you never do multiple laps, so you never see it again. It's great.
Right. So that's a good segue. You need to pay attention to markers. So the big thing is that with our hare and hound this time is that Loop A is awesome. At least Loop A is fun, just as fun as Loop B. Loop B might be a little more technical, but Loop A is going to be fun, even though it's longer. It's technical stuff. So you need to pay attention to markers. All our obviously our arrows. To know which way you're going. 3, 2, 1s. You also have to know that on our markers they're going to say A loop or B loop. Not as well as the danger signs because of some of the rocks, but we also have our mile markers that say the ones that don't say loop 2 on them. Now the reason I put loop 2 on this is because the Caselli Foundation, which we're using a lot of their markers, they say loop 2. So B2, it's always the same thing. But keep in mind that when you're on loop A, you will see some loop 2 markers because we use the same course at certain points. When the parts that actually veer off, if you're on loop 2, you'll see the marker. It'll say loop 2, turn here. So you'll see the course splits and arrows. So pay attention to the markers by the time you get to loop 2. If you're on loop 2, loop B.
You're gonna have somebody out there for loop A to make sure they don't start on loop B on accident.
Oh yeah. No, we have a designated spot, and
you know it's gonna happen, right?
You'll know we have people there. So good point. but yes, we are definitely tracking to make sure that Loop A riders don't go on to Loop B or on accident.
Yeah.
Now, when Loop A, after you finish Loop A, and you go through the our Moto Tally tower, Loop A riders who are not in Loop B need to turn right. We're gonna make it clear, but you need to know that you have to turn right past that and not go down pit row. We only want Loop B people going down pit row, because at the end of pit row is another checkpoint. So you're gonna fuel if you're for checkpoint or Loop B. And then at the end of pit row, you're going to actually get your fender card marked again before you go out on Loop B, Loop 2, Loop B. So just
Okay.
be, and Loop B is a lot more fun than Loop A, because that's how it should be. But it's not difficult.
Some might disagree.
I detect a bit of sinisterness in the Loop B.
No, it's good.
Awesome.
And so, yeah. But if
You know, Chad, I got it. So, are you going to have a cutoff for the B loop? You know, like most staring hounds, and
Yes.
let's say 37. You know, once the first rider comes through and enters the B loop, you know, they may do an hour. You know, if you're not there in an hour, we're cutting it off just to keep it from going too long.
Noon. If you're not finished with Loop A by noon, we're not letting anybody go on to Loop B after noon.
That would be 2.5 hours.
12 o'clock, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
2.5 hours to do 50 miles.
Yeah. Might want to make sure you mention that in your riders meeting.
Oh, yeah.
That's good information.
And then, you know, so from there, it's you know, hopefully Loop B is not too long, and then we'll start the kids event. If one other thing is, if you pull out of the race, Loop A or Loop B, please notify home check, because we need to know if you're not on the course anymore, because that's helpful to know that if you broke or you got towed out, we're not going and looking for you, because we're with our sweep riders, we're gonna go and make sure, and then if we still have somebody that we don't know the result of, we might be trying to find them. So we don't want to have that happen, and we're sitting around thinking somebody's still on the course. So please let us know if you pull out. If you get hurt or break down, you can relay, like that's where back to the mileage. Pay attention to the mileage and let us, let whoever you relay that information to, let us share with us where you are or what mileage you're at. LASAR has an ask is if there's a helicopter is needed, and a helicopter shows up, please do not, ground your drones. We would like to have no drones flying if a helicopter is brought in for a rescue. And then, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually against the law. So if we find out who you are, you can be prosecuted also.
Right.
But what we are worried about is not so much prosecuting people, but getting our injured people safely recovered.
Right. No interference.
Yeah.
So with the kids event, it is, we're looking around a 2-mile loop, and then we're gonna have goodie bags for the kids after the event, and we're encouraging parents to sweep with the kids. So, let the kids go and they can follow the markers, but parents can sweep behind, in case a kid gets stuck and needs a little help on our fun course. So,
yeah, I would encourage them to stay off the marked course, ride alongside it.
Correct. Yeah. That's all I have. Any questions?
No, I think that's it. That'll kind of segue. like Shad had mentioned, LaSalle is going to be providing our EMS service for the day, the event. So keep an eye out for their vehicles. They're going to be on the course. They're easily spottable. They have roof racks and red lights and little fire or rescue vehicles. And like Shad said, if you are asking for medical help, please identify the details. And the details are rider number, mile marker, and basically kind of what's wrong with somebody, extent of their injuries, so that we can quickly dispatch LaSalle to the location to render aid. They are always going to park their vehicles facing oncoming race traffic, and that's to help protect the injured rider and just gives you a point of where they are so that you can navigate around them. And if you are okay and you see them out there, give them a thumbs up or give your fellow rider a thumbs up. Let them know that you're okay so that they're not being dispatched unnecessarily if they need to go and help somebody else during the race. If you would like to volunteer at the Sandblast, I believe Courtney Ludwig is your contact. His information is on the race flyer. Chad, how are you guys doing for volunteers? Do you need people or are you good?
We could probably use a few more sweep riders. We're doing pretty good with some of the other the road crossings, and all our checkpoints are covered. I think we need a couple more sweep riders. I didn't get the final count because we were volunteering.
I sent you one today. Hopefully, he contacted you.
Who is that?
I sent you one person today. Hopefully, he contacted you.
Okay.
He's quite capable. He could do the B loop, no problem.
Okay. Good to know. That's good.
So sweep riders and volunteers, just realize when you volunteer to be a sweep rider, you're not out there racing the race. You're out there to help people, and we really value people that have high level riding skills so that you're able to navigate the course and be able to help a fellow downed rider if you see them out there. Like I said, if you have the time or ability or job to do, contact Courtney and they'll get you all set up on that. Upcoming events that we have in District 38, the next race that we have, it's the Sweetheart's Kiss. It's hosted by I-8 Desert Racers, and that's going to be at Plaster City West. And then we have the infamous District 38 banquet coming up. Ooh. And I believe it's on Sunday.
I believe it is. That's what I've been told.
Yes. And then after the banquet, I think the next weekend or 2 weeks is King of the Desert. And that's hosted by the Roadrunner MC. And I think it's at Plaster City East. I'm not quite sure.
We'll get to that next time.
Next time.
Next time.
We don't have any UTV races this weekend, so we're not going to go through any UTV stuff. I will mention that we do have the new classes up on the district website. Take a look at those. And
For the UTVs.
For the UTVs. Not motorcycle rules are up.
They
only slight changes. Right? Yeah, they've been up.
Minor.
That being said, District 38 is an all volunteer run organization, and we value all levels of help. The best way to get involved with our racing organization is to join a club. We have currently 3 clubs. Each club has a little different flavor of people. Come out, volunteer to race, come out and help, meet your fellow riders. There are also a bunch of great people to go riding with. If you want to help at a race or banquet, call the race volunteers, come out and give us the help. Here at District 38, we can't do it all on our own. We do have people that sponsor our events, and they help us out, insurance costs, skill bar numbers, all of the things that it takes to run a racing series like we do every year. First sponsor, BTI, that's Todd Marhill. They do design and engineering. Diesel Tech, that's Lauren. Lauren, Diesel Tech, got it right, Lauren. Won't never forget it now. Got Judy Bolin, real estate expert. She's a wealth of knowledge. She'll be out there. She's part of the OTB club. SD Powerhouse, they build race motorcycles or service motorcycles. If you need some work done on your bikes, go down to SD Powerhouse. Willie's Electronic Supply, or We Supply. That's Dustin Tamley and Tamley. Dustin and family. He's going to be helping us out this year by live streaming our races. And in order to pick up the live feed, it's going to be on the Willie's Electronics Facebook page. Yeah. And we could probably get a link. We're going to put a link to that on social media. Yeah, Jen will be. This just happened today, so yeah, it's still kind of fluid, and you know, it might be set up at home check. We're hoping to move around. It's going to be a work in progress, but I think it's going to be kind of next level stuff where you can't make the race. You know, you're a parent. You may be able to see your kid out there, so it's going to be kind of cool. We're trying to do, like Hammertown, we're gonna have our own streaming service. Right. It's totally. You can sit at work and watch District 38 racing. It's cool. Right. Until we have the in-car. So that being said, just check out our social media pages. We'll get that out there. We'll get the links out for Dustin, and we're excited to get some live video for our District 38 races. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cool thing. This is something that, as far as I know, no other district has. Mm-hmm. You know, we're kind of small in acreage compared to some of the other places. I mean, some districts are the whole state. Okay, you know, we're divided up. We were 4, now 3, and we're that little sliver at the bottom. You know, we're doing some pretty cutting edge stuff, and this is a step in that direction. Awesome. We'll get to brag. Yeah, we're gonna brag. Thanks, Dustin. Let us brag. Vicious Factory, they are a clothing company, and they're out there supporting us in the race. They always have displays and stuff, so go out and check out their merch. You can go online and purchase anything that they're selling. Swell Drone, they renewed their sponsorship. That's Chris. He's going to be out there flying his drone legally. Legally at the races. Yeah. Because he's a professional. Chris is a professional. Yes. We have Mr. Mike Maxwell back as a sponsor. He's a great photographer out there. You can follow his Facebook pages. He posts up race photos pretty quickly after the races. He's one of those guys that makes you look fast. Just a reminder, if you're going to use Mike's photos, you need to reimburse him for getting those photos up. He has links on his page where you can PayPal him, send him a few bucks. Rhonda Hopper, they're back. We'll see if Kayla comes back and races with us. She said she's going to race a couple races. I got passed by a girl. So that was her. Oh man, she signed a poster for me. It's okay. It's okay. I'm a bigger person. Kirk Caselli Foundation. They are the company that supplies our course markings. We always suggest that you donate. If you want to donate money, it's a great cause to donate to. They're the ones that keep us safe out here when we race. And do we have any questions, Joe?
From Vicky, she wants to confirm that the kids race is 2 miles long, even for the youngsters, the 3 and 4-year-olds. And with that being said, will it be out of sight from home pit?
It's a very good question.
Shad, that is a Shad question.
Well, yeah. So this wasn't an event for the.
Do you have an age limit for him? 2 years, 3 years. So no 9-year-olds. Oh, 8 to 12? Yeah.
On interest, this is not a kids race. It's just a kids event. You know, we wanted to give something for the kids to do and have their feel, you know, their feel of you know, going down the course markings. Um, so I mean, we can probably readjust it if depending on how much interest we get.
Okay. So for the kids race, who's going to be your? Are you going to be the primary contact for that?
Well, so Jason Mount was going to help set it up, uh, and where he's coming out tomorrow to help set it up. But
Okay.
yeah. So between him and I, you know, if we depends on the interest we get at signups, and they don't have to sign up. We're looking to see how many kids are out and how many are interested in doing an event.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Sorry.
I mean, one thing I'd suggest is maybe, stationing even a parent, you can give them a yellow flag, or not, but just,
Yeah.
kind of like the, furthest out points, make sure somebody's out there.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna have people out there. Trust me. No,
Yeah.
we're gonna be following them and making sure it's just a smooth ride for them. You know, it's not. It's just supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah, definitely understands Vicky's concern.
Sure.
So I hope that answers your question, Vicky.
Next question, Joe. That's
That was
it.
all we have.
That was all we had.
Only Vicky.
Nobody has a question on how many laps is a Heron Hound? Is it
Heron-
4 laps? No, it's not. Yeah. What do you got?
Back to the fuel mats. I mean, if you want to purchase a fuel mat, Hunsacker USA, they sell a good racing fit mat just for a place that you can go look at. It's online. That was brought to you by Jason, who texted me that.
I'd like to throw something in.
Yeah.
I'd like to congratulate Seth Contrero. Just did the Dakar.
Oh,
Got a couple more medallions, and there was some guy from the Valley. Let me see. Brock Hager?
oh, Brock Hager.
Kicked some butt down there, and both these guys have raced with us. They kind of started racing. Not Brock so much, but he has competed down there, and Seth did start down there with his desert. So congratulations to both those guys.
Graduates of District 3.
Right.
Cool.
I just had to throw that in.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You should.
Our claim to fame.
We have a lot of people that move on and do bigger and better things.
Yes, we do.
So, if we don't have any other questions, that's all I got for you tonight.
That's all I got.
And we'll thank you all for listening, and we'll see you at the races.
Are you done, Jim?